Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Which verse? 10, 9. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summum Bonum, Chapter 58. Krishna marries 5 princesses, verse number 9 and 10. We will recite number 10. Got it? न ते अस्ति स्वपर भ्रांति विश्वस्य सुहृद आत्मन तथापि स्मरतां शश्वत् क्लेशान् हंसि हृदि स्थित न त्यस्ति स्वपर भ्रांति विश्वस्य सुहृदात्मन तथापि स्मरतां शश्वत् क्लेशान् हंसि हृदि स्थित न ते अस्ति स्वपर भ्रांति विश्वस्य सुहृदात्मन तथापि स्मरतां शश्वत् क्लेशान् हंसि हृदि स्थित शश्वत् क्लेशान् हंसि हृदि स्थित नस्ति स्वपराभ्रान्ति विश्वस्य सुहृदात्मना तथापि स्मरतां शश्वत् क्लेशान् हंसि हृदि स्थित माताजी न ते अस्ति स्वपरा भ्रान्ति विश्वस्य सुहृदात्मना अपि स्मरतां शश्वत् क्लेशान् हंसि हृदि स्थित न not te for you asti there is swa of one's own para and of others bhranti delusion vishwasya of the universe suhart for the well-wisher, Atmana and soul, Tatha api nonetheless, Smaratam of those who remember, Shashvat continuously, Kleshan the sufferings, Hamsi you destroy, Riddhi in the heart, Sthita situated. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. For you, the well-wishing friend and supreme soul of the universe, there is never any illusion of us and them. Yet even so, residing within the hearts of all, you eradicate the sufferings of those who remember you constantly. Purport. The intelligent Queen Kunti here points out that even though Lord Krishna is dealing with her affectionately as a relative, he is not compromising his position as the well-wishing soul of the universe. In other words, the Lord doesn't play favorites. As he says in the Bhagavad-gita 9.29, Samo aham sarva bhuteshu, I am equal to everyone. So while the Lord reciprocates with all souls, it is natural that those who love him intensely receive his special attention, for they want him and nothing else. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll read translation of verse number 9 and 10. 9. Queen Kunti said, My dear Krishna, our welfare was assured only when you remembered us, your relatives, and gave us your protection by sending my brother to visit us. For you, the well-wishing friend and supreme soul of the universe, there is never any illusion of us and them. Yet even so, residing within the hearts of all, you eradicate the sufferings of those who remember you constantly. Hare Krishna. So we are reading the section of Srimad Bhagavatam where Krishna is visiting Indraprasth and meeting Mother Kunti and the 5 Pandavas and other relatives. So as Krishna visits, he is offered a nice seat, a high seat. Krishna pays obeisances to his elders. Yudhishthira Maharaj embraces Arjun. Nakul and Sahadev pay obeisances to Krishna. And with intense love, they offer him a seat. And as they are talking, Mother Kunti arrives on the scene. She knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. But also she has a relation with Krishna. Krishna is son of Mother Kunti's brother Vasudeva. So as soon as Mother Kunti arrives on the scene, Krishna gets up from his seat to offer obeisances to Mother Kunti. And she has tears in her eyes, overwhelmed with intense love. She embraces Krishna, smells the head of Krishna, makes him sit again, and she speaks to Krishna, crying. And two of the verses which she speaks, we will discuss it today. So she says, "My dear Krishna, I still remember the day that you sent Akrura, my cousin brother, to meet me, to ask my welfare. And because you remembered us, and because you inquired about us, that gave us relief, that you are thinking of us, that you have attention over us, and that we will be protected. We are assured of your protection because you are thinking of us." So of course, Krishna has attention over all of us. Upadrishta anumanta cha. Upadrishta, overseer. Krishna is overseeing us, sitting as Paramatma in our heart. Just like mother. Mother may be sitting in Bhagavatam class and child is playing in the courtyard. But she'll have one eye there if everything is okay or not. That is her love and care. Mother is in the kitchen, child may be in the garden or in the room playing. And mother will keep an eye and ear open if everything is all right or not. So Krishna's love for us is millions and billions of mother together. How much attentive he is to us. But we don't want his attention. We don't want his interference. We don't want his presence. Paramatma inside the heart, super soul inside the heart, speaks to us. How many of you heard the voice of Paramatma? Raise your hands. Never? Yes, no? Raise properly or don't raise? Yes. Especially when you are about to board a local train without ticket. Paramatma, hey, bad boy, take ticket. Yes or no? किया है हाँ? Especially when you are about to speak lies or break a rule or do something wrong. Paramatma will speak, don't do, bad boy, bad girl, don't do. Then what do we do? Make the volume 0. Chup bait. When we make the volume 0, we can do a bad activity and sleep at night. If your volume is not 0, you cannot do a bad activity. And if you do a bad activity, you will not get sleep at night. So we do volume 0. If you don't make volume 0, you will be nishpap, sinless. You cannot commit a sinful activity. You cannot hurt a living entity. The volume is on. If you are connected to Paramatma. So we don't like. We reject his presence. We reject the connection. He is our well-wisher. But we have ulterior motives, bad, wrong desires. So we don't like him. That's the mistake of the conditioned soul. To be more interested in the fruits of karma rather than the owner of fruits, rather than the Malik, the Swami, the Lord who is providing the fruits. What kind of relationship is that where the child is only interested in what the father provides but not interested in the father? Is that a good relationship? Or the wife is only interested on the day of the salary? Husband gives salary, we'll meet after 29 days. So we have an additional relationship with Krishna, with dependence. There is also love, and there is a difference between love and dependence. So here Mother Kunti, she is so fortunate that she is in distress. Her husband Pandu has died. She is a widow. And she has 5 small boys to be taken care in the palace where there is lots of politics and attempt to kill her boys. And the only thing she can do is cry. She can't fight out the situation. And there is nobody to help her. Her brother Vasudev can't help because he is in prison of Kans. And there is no other family member around. And that time Krishna sends an inquiry, how are you? Does Krishna solve her distress? No. Does Krishna reduce her distress? No. The pain continues, the suffering continues, the complication continues, the palace politics continues, but she feels relief. She feels relief because Krishna inquires. And we should learn from this how to interact with others. When there's patient in our family and you ask, how are you? Do you need any help? That works more than medicine, even though it's not a medicine. You know, there was an experiment done actual research done that there were plants in two different rooms. And in one room, there were a group of people who would speak to the plants every day for few hours, positive things. And in another room, there were a group of people who would abuse the plant whole day. And they found out the plant which received positive words, it grew better, and the plant which received abusive words died out. Even though both had equal sunlight, equal water, equal oxygen, equal carbon dioxide, everything. So when plants who don't understand the language can get affected with the communication, what about humans? Humans also get affected. Our Chetana also gets affected. So even if we are not able to help somebody mitigate their distress or suffering, but kind words of inquiry, genuine inquiry, helps a person develop positive strength to overcome their own distress. Get hope in life that there's somebody who loves me, there's somebody who is concerned about me, there is somebody who is attending to me. And that's very important, even in devotee community, to be concerned about each other's welfare, rather than treating each other impersonally as objects. So Krishna sent Akrur to inquire the welfare of Kunti, Mother Kunti and the Pandavas, and also to speak to Dhritarashtra. And Mother Kunti was very happy that Krishna is thinking of me. Now everything is okay. Whatever problems we have, if you come to the temple and with your eyes you can see Radha-Rasbihari, then everything is okay. Krishna is showing himself to me, then everything is okay. The holy name is going inside my ear, then everything is okay. I can hear Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is okay. I have friendship with devotees, everything is okay. And above all, there is nice Rasgulla, nice Mahaprasad, then everything is okay. Distress means not connecting to Krishna. That's real distress. Separation from devotees, that's real distress. Losing material attachments is not real distress. It is positive. Material attachment is like fever. And if the fever comes down, we should not think, oh, I lost from 101 to 99, 2-degree loss. No, you should be happy. Fever is coming down. So material attachment coming down is a good sign, not a bad sign. Increasing attachment to Krishna is a good sign. So Krishna's attention on us is very important. And we should attract Krishna's attention by sincere, humble service. Even little service we do, Krishna sees with a magnifying glass. Oh, itna kiya? So much service? He is so merciful. So if you come to temple, pay obeisances, hold your hands, dance in kirtan, attend class, do prasadam service, clean the temple, do book distribution, chant the holy name, attend arati, or do some simple service, Krishna is highly pleased. So Krishna's attention on us is very important. And that we attract by sincere service, seva bhav, service attitude. So Mother Kunti goes on to say, and she clarifies that, my dear Krishna, you are Vishwasya Suhart Atmana. What is Vishwasya Suhart Atmana? Suhart, well-wisher, friend. Atmana, soul of Vishwa, universe. You are Suhart, you are friend, you are well-wisher of the whole universe. And you are supreme soul of the whole universe. I am insignificant. Your Aishwarya, your majesty is so high that you are well-wisher of everybody, not just me. You are soul of the whole universe. You are specifically attending to me is not your bhedabhav, is not your discrimination, is not your partiality. That is your natural affection. Krishna is not partial. This is a very big topic in Srimad Bhagavatam. Because there is multiple times seemingly appears that Krishna is partial. So Bhagavatam has lots of discussion on this. Great acharyas and philosophers keep on discussing on this, that Krishna is not partial. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. As somebody surrenders to Krishna, proportionately Krishna reciprocates. That is not called partiality. The more one is dependent on Krishna, the more Krishna attends to that soul. And that is not called partiality. Suppose you are mother and there are two children of yours in the room. One is playing and laughing, another is crying. Whom will you attend to? Crying. Isn't that partiality? One child you attend to, other child you are not attending to? No, the child who is crying requires your attention. The child who is not crying doesn't require your attention. Simple. That's not partiality. It's natural. So in the same way, there are two conditioned souls. One busy doing sense gratification, one chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Whom will Radha Raspberry attend to? Chanting. Partiality? No, because you are crying. Holy name, chanting the holy name means crying. There are two children in the room. One crying, another also crying. But the second one is crying with raised hands towards the mother. Whom will mother attend first? So when you chant, what do? You raise hand. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mother will pick you up. That's surrender. So our chanting is not a musical performance, is not a memory performance. is not some drama or showing to somebody that I am serious. Our chanting is a cry. And who cries? Who feels helpless? Who needs help? Who has a feeling of dependence on Krishna? That person cries. If there is no dependence on Krishna, no feeling such, then Krishna's attention is not equal. Nam's attention is not equal. The scriptures again and again mention, if you chant just one holy name, that one holy name can eradicate millions of sinful activities. Have you heard this? Yes, no? How many of you heard this? How many of you believe this? How many of you chanted one holy name at least? How many sinful reactions gone? Millions? Lakhs? Thousands? One? So why don't we have an experience of eradication of sinful reactions when we chant the holy name? So the answer is feeling of dependence. If we are having the feeling of dependence on Krishna, then one holy name is sufficient. Your mother, two children in the room, both crying. One is doing drama of crying, fake crying. Another is doing really helpless crying. And you know both. Whom will you pick up? He is dependent and crying. He is doing natak. Sometimes children do drama, you know that, right? So if I do chanting but a natak, no dependence, just intellectual conviction, good, nothing against it. But the result will come slow. If I am chanting and thinking, if I have a problem, I have a bank balance, and I have my degree, and I know the police commissioner, my friends are there, my family is there, and I am so intelligent, I can solve so many problems, I have so many skills and talents. And if nothing works, Krishna is there anyway. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You see, where is the dependence? On money, contacts, network, skill, intelligence, education, family, and Krishna. Another devotee chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and thinking, if I have a problem, Krishna will help me. Nobody else can help me. And if he doesn't help, I am gone. Let me chant nicely. You see the difference? So the second one has more dependence. So proportionately, Krishna reciprocates. So growth in spiritual life means growing our dependence on Krishna, increasing our dependence on Krishna, decreasing our dependence on material things and material people and material intelligence. Because those things don't help. But we have a big illusion that they help. So we have to every day hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to differentiate, distinguish between reality and illusion. And when we are able to distinguish this, that creates revolution, a transformation in our life, we become a different person with a different thought process, with a different attitude, performing ordinary tasks. Coming out of illusion is the greatest benediction a person can receive. If we continue illusion, then we continue the cycle of birth and death. That is not progressive to become a dog or a cat after human form of life. That is not progress. That's reverse, going back to animal kingdom or lower species. After coming to human form where I can escape and get liberated, I come back to lower species. How is that progress? That is not progress. Taking birth in a nice family, going to nice school, getting good marks, going to a college, getting a degree, getting a nice job, becoming a CEO of a big company, having a nice wife and children and bangla and gadi and status and prestige and reputation and name and fame and leadership, and dying and becoming a dog outside your bangala. How is that progress? The graph went up and fell down. That's not progress. After up, you should go more up. That is progress. So this material education is not a progress. You're going to become animal again. It's not going to help us. So Bhagavatam, spiritual education, to increase dependence on Krishna and chant in that way. Like Srila Haridas Thakur, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the title Namacharya. Namacharya means Acharya of the Naam, Acharya of the holy name, Professor of the holy name. Professor means a very high title. Anybody studying here in the college? Raise your hand. How many students in your college? 2,000 students. How many professors? 7, 8. That's all. He is intelligent. Generally people say 100 professors. No, they are lecturers. Those who teach in college, they are called lecturers. People call them professor, but that's not correct. When you are a faculty, you start your position as lecturer. As a lecturer, if you have 10 plus years experience and you at least do MPhil, some research project, then your designation is promoted to reader. Then after few years of reader and a PhD, then your designation is promoted to associate professor. Then if you are alive after that, you can become professor. Very old man. So in a college of 2,000-3,000 students, there will be hardly 1 or 2 professors. So Haridas Thakur among the devotees is called professor, Acharya, professor of the holy name. Is that a small thing? No. And why? Because he would chant every day 64 rounds plus 64 rounds plus 64 rounds. 192 rounds. We chant every day 64 rounds minus 16 rounds minus 16 rounds minus 16 rounds. 192 rounds every day. So walking, one day Sri Haridas Thakur came to Chandanpur, the village where Majumdar family would stay. Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar. Govardhan Majumdar is father of Raghunath Das Goswami. And they are multi-millionaires. Their palace is like Indra's palace, very rich people. So one of their priests is Balram Acharya. And he used to like Haridas Thakur. So he was so happy to have Haridas Thakur in my village. Immediately he welcomed him, respected him, paid him obeisances, brought him to his house, offered him prasadam, and he requested him to stay in the village for a few days. And Haridas Thakur agreed. So he made a new kutia, new hut in front of a river, and offered that simple accommodation to Haridas Thakur that you please stay here and chant whole day. River is nearby, take bath. And prasadam you have at my house every day. Haridas Thakur said, okay. And whole day he would chant 192 rounds. Hardly sleep, hardly eat. And some villagers would come and associate with him and chant with him. So one day the Majumdars, they had a house program. They are rich, wealthy family, so they invited the whole village, including the Brahmanas, the Vaishnavas, the Panditas, the relatives, the staff, and all other neighbor and contacts. So they requested Balram Acharya, would you please invite Haridas Thakur on our behalf? If he comes, everybody will get lots of benefit of sadhu sangha. Balram Acharya said, I will ask. So he went to Haridas Thakur very humbly, asked him that Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar have invited you. Would you please come? Haridas Thakur said, yes, I will come. So at the appropriate time he came. All the audience was already assembled. As soon as Sri Haridas Thakur arrived, they gave him a raised seat. He sat down and everybody started glorifying Haridas Thakur. That Sri Haridas Thakur is pure brahmachari, he is the greatest Vaishnava, he is a pure sadhu, he has namacharya, he chants 192 rounds every day, he hardly sleeps and eats. And as they were glorifying Haridas Thakur without any envy, they started glorifying the holy name. That the holy name of Krishna eradicates all the sinful reactions, vanishes all the miseries, gives one liberation from cycle of birth and death. As they were glorifying the holy name, Haridas Thakur said, stop. Stop. He said, my dear devotees, eradication of distress and liberation from cycle of birth and death are not the primary benefits of the holy name. The primary benefit of the holy name is the chanter receives Krishna Prem, love of Godhead. These are side effects, concomitant factors. One should chant with this attitude of service. Haridas Thakur said, just as the morning sun rises, before the sunrise happens, before the sun is visible in the sky, there is some rays of the sun reach earth, twilight, and you can see here and there. The darkness goes away, the fear goes away. And when the actual sun comes, you do your routine activities. In the same way, before chanting the Shuddha Naam, there is shadow of the holy name. In that all the distress goes away, liberation happens. But when you actual chant Shuddha Naam, actual sun comes up, you get your routine activity in constitutional position, which is Krishna Prem. So on the request of audience, Haridas Thakur explained this further. He said there are 3 stages of chanting. First stage is we chant and also commit offenses. Aparad Yukta Naam. Second stage is Naam Abha, shadow of the holy name, where we are reducing offenses. And third stage is Shuddha Naam, pure holy name, where there are no offenses and there is complete realization that Krishna is equal to his holy name. So just Naam Abhas, the shadow, the first ray before the sunrise can give you liberation. Before the sun is visible, the rays of the sun come, the darkness goes away, the fear of ghosts go away, the fear of owls go away, the fear of thieves go away. And when the actual sun comes, you do your routine activity. In the same way, even before the Shuddha Naam, just by shadow, the distress goes away, the cycle of birth and death is finished. But when you actually chant the holy name, Shuddha Naam, without offenses, with complete realization that Krishna and his holy name are non-different, you receive Krishna Prem, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, one of the rasas. So that's the primary benefit of chanting the holy name of Krishna, to love Krishna. So all the members in the audience were so much enlightened by hearing this. Their faith and enthusiasm to chant increased. Their appreciation about the glories of the holy name increased. And there was one Pandita in the audience, Gopal Chakravarti. He raised his hand. He said, I don't agree with this emotional statement. Liberation is very difficult even after 1,000 years of tapasya in the forest. And you are saying one holy name can give liberation? I don't agree. You prove it to me. I challenge you. If you cannot prove, I will cut your nose. He challenged Haridas Thakur. All the assembled devotees got very disturbed. Some of them left the place. Some of them chastised Gopal Chakravarti, said, you fool, you are insulting Haridas Thakur. You will not have good future. Gopal Chakravarti was a staff employee of Govardhan Majumdar, and annually he will collect 12 lakh gold coins. He will give lots of revenue. They were collecting on behalf of the king. 12 lakh gold coins annual collection. So he was a top performer. And Govardhan Majumdar on the spot dismissed him from the job. He said, we don't want such person as an employee in our office who insults Vaishnavas. Haridas Thakur said, oh, don't worry. And he told Gopal Chakravarti, Shastras, they speak this, that even Nam Abhas can give liberation. And we should have faith on Shastras. By logic, we cannot understand. Just like sometimes uh, in the exams they have a question. If one tailor can make one shirt in 2 hours, 10 tailors can make 5 shirts in how many hours? You know such questions? So if one holy name you chant, okay, if 1 liter petrol I have, how many matchstick will require to burn 1 liter petrol? One. So 1 liter petrol can be burned by one matchstick. 10 liter petrol can be burned by 10 matchsticks. 1000 liter petrol can be burned by 1000 matchsticks. No, just 1000 liter, 1 lakh liter, 1 crore liter petrol, one matchstick is sufficient. So one holy name is sufficient whether you do one sinful activity or two sinful activity or 10 sinful activity or 1 million sinful activity. Because sinful activity is fuel for the holy name. As much as fuel you have, everything will be burned. This is Shastra. This is not logic. If you ask this question to Chat GPT, it will fail. Because Chat GPT is logical, but not Shastra. So the glories of the holy name and devotional service cannot be understood by speculation and modern logic. So you should have faith on the scriptures. Haridas Thakur told Gopal Chakravarti. And he also told, my dear Gopal Chakravarti, I accept your challenge. More than that, if the Naam Abhas doesn't give liberation, I will myself cut my nose. Haridas Thakur not only accepted the challenge, showed his faith on the holy name. And by that time the audience were leaving because they didn't like Haridas Thakur is insulted. So they told Gopal Chakravarti, you get out. Then Majumdar and Balram Acharya paid obeisances and begged forgiveness from Haridas Thakur. But he said, no, you are not at fault. Even Gopal Chakravarti is not at fault. He is dry logician. He has not yet had sadhu sangha, don't worry. Haridas Thakur didn't take it seriously and he went. Gopal Chakra is a very handsome young fellow with nice fair body. After 3 days, he got such a skin disease that his nose melted. His fingers melted, hands and legs. And he had very painful life. So all the villagers understood because he offended Haridas Thakur, he insulted Haridas Thakur, he got punishment. When Haridas Thakur heard that Gopal Chakravarti had this kind of situation, he didn't like it, he left the village, he went to Shantipur. So that is nature of sadhu. If somebody offends a sadhu, he doesn't take it seriously. That is sadhu's nature. If somebody offends a sadhu, he takes very seriously. That is Krishna's nature. Krishna doesn't leave a Vaishnava aparadhi. So Haridas Thakur didn't take it seriously, but Krishna punished Gopal Chakravarti. So that is the glory of the holy name. And the primary benefit is to chant to receive Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem is not something which we can achieve by our mehnat. No. We can just wait patiently for the mercy and receive. The difference between achieve and receive. Achieve is something which by my hard work I will get. Krishna Prem is not available by hard work. Of course, we have to do our sadhana. We have to wake up early morning to chant our rounds. The Krishna Prem we receive by the mercy of Krishna and Vaishnavas. So we continue our devotional service, our chanting. Krishna is our Suhart, well-wisher. He wants us to practice bhakti and go back to Him. So everything is available. Krishna gave us everything. Srila Prabhupada came, he established this society, ISKCON. We have deities, we have books, we have prasadam, we have events, we have programs, we have devotees, we have instructions. Everything is there. The only thing is our participation. Once we participate, we get benefit. We don't participate, we don't get benefit. Event is going to happen. Programs are going to happen. Aratis are going to happen. So just by our participation, we get Krishna Prem. That is ISKCON. That is Srila Prabhupada's society. That we don't have to do some extra tapasya, just participate, just cooperate. So we are very fortunate that we have received this association, and we should become very serious in our devotional service. If we don't, then we are unfortunate. There are two people on the street. One has money in the pocket, another does not have money in the pocket. Who is fortunate? One who has money. And both are starving. Who is unfortunate? One who has money. He has money but still he is starving. So we have RadhaRasbihari, we are his part and parcel. We are fortunate. But don't serve him, we are unfortunate. That we have master, the best supreme master Krishna, and we are looking for some other boss. We are looking for some dog to become our master, to pay us some little salary. We have supreme master here. We should just serve him. That will make us fortunate. So we should be very serious in our sadhana, in our devotional service, especially chanting and reading and hearing, morning programs, services, so that this life, last life, we go back home, back to Godhead. So this whole process is available, bona fide process. We just have to participate. Srila Prabhupada has made it so easy. So we do that. Okay? We end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there are any comments or questions, you may please ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You were talking about dependency on Krishna. So, what kind of dependency is more beneficial? Like, after taking knowledge about scriptures, that dependency is more beneficial, or just having faith? I am doing chanting and kirtan, but not reading anything or anything else. Only faith. Which kind of dependency is more beneficial? Thank you.
There is no comparison. Both devotees will progress. Any person who is chanting or dancing in kirtan or reading scriptures or dancing before reading or dancing after reading, both will progress. So, some people start bhakti through scriptures, some people start bhakti just through dancing, some people start bhakti through samosa. Everybody will progress. Right? But when we read and take decisions in life, it's mode of goodness, that's better. But all will progress. Bhakti doesn't depend on jnana. Bhakti doesn't depend on knowledge. Somebody may not have knowledge, but still he can grow. That doesn't mean he will never have knowledge. He will have knowledge without reading also. Just by chanting you can get knowledge in the heart. And especially in ISKCON, if you do bhakti, minimum knowledge you get by attending classes. Right? Even a small child will tell you, I am not this body. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just chant Hare Krishna. Okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. In regards to dependence, people depend on money, medicine, doctor, lawyer, because it is very very accessible, easy accessible, and easy results comes out. As you are mentioning, bhakti process is not a logical. So people, when they come to Krishna consciousness, even in front of the Lord, even in front of devotees, in the association of devotees, even in the holy dham, when they see mistreatment, misbehavior, when they see rude things, same material things happening, then even though they have little faith in Krishna, they lose that faith. So how to patch up that, how to encourage them, how to inspire them?
So, well, in the beginning of your question, you said that money, medicines give results. Worshipping Krishna may not equally visibly give result. So, a person should understand, just like if I go to an ATM machine and withdraw money, the money is sent by my father in my account and I am withdrawing from a machine. I can't say, Father, I am not dependent on you, I am dependent on an ATM machine. The ATM machine is maintaining me by giving every month money. No, your father is putting money. In the same way, when you take medicine or when you take money and buy food and eat, your father Krishna has put it in your account. That's why you are able to withdraw the benefit from the machine called medicine. That's why you are able to withdraw the benefit from a currency. So whatever benefit you are deriving from the ATM machine is because your father has put it in your account, even though you may be in a different city and the father may not be visible. So whatever benefit we are getting today from all material existence is because Krishna has put it in your account. If only by mehnat of going to a machine, ATM machine, I will get money, then everybody should go to ATM machine and withdraw money, na? No, if your father has not put in your account, how you can withdraw? So if Krishna doesn't give you, how you can withdraw a benefit from medicine? Otherwise, doctors should never die, they have ample medicines. Pharmacists should never die, they have ample medicines, always 24 hours available. Right? So Krishna is a father who is not visible to us because we are in ignorance. He is the one who is depositing in it. Now when new devotees come and see misbehavior of other members of the society, we should educate that you are not coming to a temple means you are coming to Golok Vrindavan. You are coming to a temple where others are also patients, where others are also conditioned souls. The difference is that these conditioned souls are trying to cure themselves by practicing bhakti. They are not yet completely cured. So when you are coming to a temple or a dham, there are still members of the society who are not yet cured. So they may still have bad manners, bad habits, they may still misbehave. Our faith on Krishna should not be dependent on these experiences. Our faith on Krishna should be dependent on the Shastras and association of sadhus, that yes, every member is a patient, they are trying to cure themselves, they are not yet perfect, but there is a process available which can make me perfect. So anybody who coming to the association of devotees should not have this false understanding that I am coming to a perfect society. No, perfect society is spiritual world, not in the material world. No organization will be perfect, no person seemingly may be perfect, not all our expectations will be fulfilled. So even a newcomer should be educated in that way, and we should make them understand the process works. So let us follow the process, and we may not necessarily associate with every single devotee. Whom we are comfortable with, we associate for our spiritual growth. And existing members should be also given an opportunity to learn that they should behave nicely so that the faith of new members is not disturbed. So both education should happen.
Thank you, Prabhuji. One thing I just wanted to more explanation. You said our faith in Krishna, our dependence on Krishna should not be based on our experiences. Am I correct?
Faith.
Our faith on Krishna should not be dependent on our experiences.
On unpleasant experiences.
Unpleasant experience.
Somebody misbehaved, so my faith reduces. And how can Krishna's devotee do like this? So Krishna, my faith on Krishna reduce. That should not be the case. Our faith should be dependent on what we read and hear.
Shastra.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, can we pass the mic in Mataji section?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Premanandini from Middle East, Oman, Muscat. Very nicely you have explained through the class, only through devotional services we can understand, we can achieve Krishna. That part is very clear, but thing is you have mentioned Krishna is not partial. But he does partiality in many cases for his devotees. So can you please give us some examples? And like for example, Krishna took vow, I'll not take up any weapons, but to protect Arjuna, he took up the wheel of a chariot to attack Vishmadeva. So some more examples to understand. Thank you so much.
So Krishna, he protected Prahlad Maharaj. Who is Prahlad Maharaj? Son of Krishna's enemy, Hiranyakashipu. And Krishna killed Narkasur. Who is Narkasur? Son of Krishna. Krishna killed his own son because he is Asura. And Krishna protected enemy's son even before birth. Before birth, what Mangala arati he did, what chanting he did. After birth he did, or in the womb he did. He protected enemy's son. That's how he is not partial. He is Bhakta Vatsalya. Whoever is devotee, Krishna extends his protection and love to them because that is reciprocation. So the word partiality can be used there, but philosophically speaking, it's not partiality, it is his love for his devotees, his affection for his devotees.
Okay, that is Bhakta Vatsala, through love.
Which is natural because there is loving relationship.
So how we can develop that kind of affection towards Krishna?
Srila Prabhupada has given us the full process from Mangala arati till Shayana arati, especially chanting and hearing. So we should worship the deities, chant and hear. By that our heart will become purified and our innate love for Krishna will come out. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any more questions? Sharad, can we get the mic back, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the very wonderful class. So you started with the analogy of we trying to pull down or making the volume zero, where the Paramatma tries to gives us some signals. So as Krishna says as Arjuna asks in the Bhagavad-gita, 3rd chapter towards the end, about Anichan api varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. And then to that Krishna gives a reply of kama isha krodha isha, lust only. And then the remedy Krishna gives towards the last sloka is about spiritual intelligence. One should use deliberate spiritual intelligence. So my question is that knowing these things, and we are practicing Krishna consciousness, taking association of devotees, reading Bhagavatam and using our little bit of spiritual intelligence. But then it seems that when the triggers of such desires they come, all this knowledge and all these things simply goes in the background, and we are unable to take decision at that point of time. Although after some time then we lament, we repent for that, why could I do it? But repetition of such things doesn't gives that confidence that how long can I go ahead like this? Why I am again and again getting victimized by this kind of desires. So can you please give some practical things how to take care of such triggers?
Well, we seek help. When I use my knowledge, my effort, my strength and still not help myself, I need help from others. So we seek help. If I have to lift a glass, I have enough strength in my hand, I will lift. If I have to lift this table, I may not have enough strength in my hand, but I have to accomplish the task. So I call somebody, let's lift together. So not all of my problems, I have strength to sort them out. So we should seek help. That is association of devotees. If we seek help, it is possible to overcome it. We think, he will give the same answer, I already know, because we are used to give the same answer to others who ask questions to us. But it's not just the content of the answer, it is a shelter. There is a difference between answer and shelter. So when we seek help from a good sadhu, by his words and by his answer, which we may already know, he may still cut the knot in our heart. Just like a surgeon who does many bypass surgeries every day, if he gets a heart attack, he can't operate on his own, even though he has all the content and the knowledge. He has to go to his friend surgeon who will operate on him. So we may be able to solve others' problem by the same answers, but when we need help, we need to go to somebody else. We can't operate on ourselves. So we should seek help. We should take more shelter of holy name and Bhagavatam. If you have a disease and the doctor gives you 500 mg and it doesn't work and you go back to the doctor, what will he do? He will just increase the mg. He will increase the dose. So you increase the dose. Instead of 16 rounds, you do 32 rounds. Instead of 32 rounds, you do 64 rounds. Instead of 64 rounds, you do 100 rounds. Just increase the dose and still it doesn't work, go in ICU, intensive chanting unit. 24 hours just chant till you overcome your problem. Because that's the medicine, that's the only medicine, and that's only way. So we chant more, we read more, we engage more. So when the trigger comes, we may not be able to help ourselves. Before the trigger comes, we have to prepare ourselves. It's not that when it starts raining, then I start repairing my roof. Before the rain comes, I should repair my roof. So after the building gets fire, you don't purchase fire extinguisher. You have to purchase beforehand. So when the trigger comes, mode of passion and ignorance may be very heavy for a devotee sometimes. So before the trigger comes, we have to prepare ourselves. So we should chant more, read more. We should take shelter of holy name more. We should not think 16 rounds, that's the only thing. Even if that is the only thing, are our 16 rounds actual 16 rounds? If you see the quality, there may be 1 or 2 or 8 rounds. So we should definitely chant and read more. That's the only solution. So increase your rounds, increase your reading. That will help us prepare for the trigger. Okay? You all know GBC has made one law which generally is not popular. I will tell, but I think it's recorded, right? So there's a GBC law which says that devotees in ISKCON are allowed to chant more than 16 rounds. You know that? You are allowed. So chant more. World Holy Name Festival is there. So chant more. The more we chant, the more we are taking shelter of Krishna and holy name, and the more material Maya will not touch us. Okay? Any more questions? Okay, we end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Hare Krishna.